We are live.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Lawrence Township Council being held on Tuesday, March 4th, 2024, has been provided through the posting of the annual meeting schedule for said council in accordance with Section 13 of the Open Public Meetings Act. Said notice was forwarded to the Trentonian, the Times, and the Princeton Packet on December 19th, 2024. Let's have a couple of my few favorite quotes. Peace is not the absence of conflict, but the ability to cope with it. Mahatma Gandhi. Democracy begins at birth. Maria Montessori. Imagination does not become great until human beings, given the courage and the strength, use it to create. And that is Maria Montessori again, one of my favorite educators. Madam Clerk, if we could have the inspiration.
May we carry out our work at this meeting in a just, honorable, and sincere manner, always bearing in mind our duties in continuing to keep Lawrence a wonderful community in which to live. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could have the roll call, please.
Mr. Bobbitt?
Here.
Mr. Kanaki?
Here.
Ms. Perry cannot be with us this evening. And Mr. Ryan cannot be with us. Mayor Farmer.
Here. Thank you. Do we have any special proclamations or recognitions at this time?
Mayor.
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. At this time, we will actually have a moment of silence for Charlie Levine, a member of our community who served on various committees, very dedicated, special individual who passed away today. So if we could have a moment of silence for him. Thank you. And if any members of council wanted to say anything on behalf of Charlie.
I'm not a member of council,
Yeah.
but I do want to just say with hearing the passing of Mr. Levine, I've known him for years and years and years, and he and I didn't agree on things, but we were able to do it in a very respectful way. Mm-hmm. And that man was so passionate about Lawrence Township, and being involved was really important to him. And I will miss his phone calls to me demanding answers. He's a good man, and Lawrence is a lesser place because he's not here.
Thank you. All right. Is there anything else on special proclamation? Okay. With that, this will bring us to the first opportunity for public participation.
Good evening. I have a couple questions, but before that, I just want to give a little background information.
Just state your name for the record.
Gregory J. Police. On May 2nd, 2023, the council authorized a professional service agreement for Special Attorney Jonathan Cohen for a potential discrimination and Faulkner Act violation matter in the amount of $10,000 for a time period of May 2nd, 2023 to December 31st, 2023. At that same meeting, council authorized a closed session to discuss an investigation authorization Also at this meeting, the township clerk notifies the township council that she stopped a long-standing practice of recording closed sessions. On May 16, 2023, council authorizes to go into closed session to discuss Faulkner Act investigation. August 15, 2023, council authorizes amending the professional service agreement made with Special Attorney Jonathan Cohen on May 2nd, but the amendment changes the agreement to read Faulkner Act investigation instead of potential discrimination in Faulkner Act violation matter. Also at this meeting, council authorizes to go into closed session for matters dealing with the Faulkner Act investigation. September 19, 2023, council authorizes to go into closed session to discuss Faulkner Act violation. This language leads the reader to believe that a Faulkner Act violation occurred. October 10, 2023, council authorizes to go into closed session to discuss the Faulkner Act violation. November 9, 2023, council authorizes to go into closed session to discuss the Faulkner Act violation. December 5th, 2023, council authorizes to go into closed session to discuss the Faulkner Act matter. I find it interesting that the language has changed to Faulkner Act matter and not Faulkner Act violation. December 19, 2023, council authorizes to go into closed session to discuss the Faulkner Act matter. 7 months go by and there is no mention of Faulkner Act in any of the agendas or meeting minutes until July 16, 2024. On July 16, 2024, a resident speaks during public participation that there were items on the agenda in December of 2023 related to Faulkner Act violations and that they were discussed in closed session. The resident stated the Faulkner Act violations are very serious matters and the public deserves to know what happened, especially where public dollars are expended. The resident asked council if there was a resolution to these matters and if they can be shared with the public. The resident got a response from legal counsel that he is aware of the situation and has reviewed substantial documentation on the matter, but it remains a matter of discussion and will be addressed in tonight's executive session. For this reason, it cannot be shared with the public at this time. 8 months go by and there is silence from council on this matter. My question tonight is, what is the official status of the investigation? And when will the investigation be shared with the public?
I'm going to ask council, Mr. Sypek, for the public's information. What is the Faulkner Act?
Faulkner Act is the legislative mechanism or scheme of the legislature of laws by which this municipality is governed. And every municipality, the 563 municipalities in the state of New Jersey, are governed by the Faulkner Act. There are different forms of government under the Faulkner Act. We are the strong manager form of government. Some have strong mayor, and there's a variety of others. So it is the basis under which all activities by this council are governed. That is in a nutshell. Yeah.
And then with regards to Mr. Politti's question about the question about any investigation versus matter, closed sessions, could you address that, please?
It's still an open issue. It has not been formally addressed that I'm aware of by council. There is no final report that I'm aware of that ever has been distributed to council for consideration. It still would be subject to closed session while it's in essence a personnel matter involving the Faulkner Act. There's been no activity that I'm aware of in the last few months.
And so that would mean that council cannot speak on that matter because it's something that is.
Yeah, it's still a active matter that would not be appropriate for public discussion this evening.
Thank you.
So hopefully it'll be closed. We spent $18,000 on an investigation in the Faulkner Act, and I disagree that it's a personnel matter because it has to do with appointed and elected officials, but
Well, personnel in general form.
I'm just trying to, just make sure. Thank you, I'll be asking more questions later on.
Okay. Seeing no additional questions for the public, I'm going to close public participation. Review and any revisions to the agenda. I don't believe we have any, do we, Councilman?
I'll just ask, do we need to go in closed session tonight?
I don't think so. We put that on there as a catch-all. Something may evolve in the course of the evening, but right now I have no specific issue to discuss.
Thank you. With that, can we have a motion to adopt the minutes from the previous meeting?
Mayor, I'll move 8A, regular meeting, October 15th, 2024.
Do you have a second?
Second?
Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbit,
Yes,
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes.
I'll move 8B, closed session, January 7th, 2025.
Second, Mr.
Second.
Kaneki? Okay. Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbit,
Yes,
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes. Closed session,
I'll move 8C, closed session, February 4th, 2025.
Second?
Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbit,
Yes,
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes.
I'll move 8D, closed session, February 18th, 2025.
Second?
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bobbit,
Yes,
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes. Okay, moving on to the awarding and or rejection of bids.
Mayor, I'll make a motion to move 9A, number 113, authorizing awarding of bid number 2501, 2025 Road Improvement Program Phase 1.
Second?
Madam Clerk, if you call the roll, please.
This man
Oh,
As
is there
as
any
a point of question, yeah.
questions?
Did you want to do a little summary on the,
If you'd like me to.
Yes, please.
Okay.
This is a part of our 2025 Road Improvement Program, Phase 1. It awards the bid to Richard T. Barrett Paving Company in the amount of $426,030.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. Madam Clerk, will you call the roll?
Mr. Bobbit,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes. And do we have the next ordinance? Well, we did both of them.
Are we on, you want me to move 10A?
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
Just wait for you. So thank you. 10A, Mayor, I'd like to move 10A, ordinance number 2487-25, calendar year 2025 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriations limits and to establish a capped bank for the Township of Lawrence, County of Mercer, NJSA 40A:4-45, period 14.
Do we need any explanation of this one?
Just for the record, New Jersey state law provides for exceeding the 2.5% limit by up to 3.5% over the previous year's final appropriations. A 3.5% increase for our township amounts to $920,830.02. This is a bank amount which we may use in either of the next two succeeding years. It's not an expenditure of any money at all. It's a way to further protect us should we have some type of catastrophic situation that would require us to dip into the bank.
Mayor, I have a point of question. I wasn't sure if I heard a second. I'm all the way over here, so I wasn't sure if.
We'll make sure, do we have a second?
Second?
Okay. Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbit,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes. Okay, this brings us to the manager's report.
No,
Did we do,
adoption.
did we do 11A?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You have to do 11A.
11A.
Moving right along, sorry, got ahead of myself. ordinance, the next ordinance.
Mayor, I'll move 11A, ordinance number 2486-25, ordinance providing for sidewalk improvements in and by the Township of Lawrence in the County of Mercer, New Jersey, appropriating $57,050 therefore, and directing the special assessment of the cost thereof.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second.
Okay. Manager, if you could give an explanation.
This is just a part of our sidewalk improvement program, which residents, property owners can take advantage of, where by pulling together as a municipality, we're able to get really competitive and reduced rates to replace sidewalks. And it's the $57,000 assessment is based upon who has applied for these improvements, and that's the expected cost, but it's paid for by the individual property owners over a period of time. It's a good deal.
All right. Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes. Okay, now we are at the manager's report.
Tonight, we are at the point in time where our 2025 municipal budget is ready for introduction on March 4th of this year. I provided to the governing body a recommendation and a budget package for review and for you to provide questions to me and a give and take over these past 30 days. And tonight's the night where we move to introduce the budget in anticipation of adoption later on. I think it's April 1st, Pete? April 1st, 2025. Before we do that, we have to have a motion authorizing that allows for municipalities in sound fiscal condition to assume the responsibility normally granted to the Director of Local Government Services of conducting the annual budget examination. This is for us to self-examine. We, as a municipality, were examined by the state last year, and so this year we need to pass this resolution to allow us to do a self-examination. So if we can have a council member move it, second it, and vote on it.
And can we just address that the majority of council has reached out and has met either with you or?
Yeah, that due diligence periods did occur. Pete and I have answered questions of council with regard to it. And so this is a budget that is a flat tax rate. We're able to increase our public safety needs by adding policemen and firemen, 3 and 3, as well as an additional employee in the clerk's office, and to do that without any type of tax rate increase.
And also, we had discussed reviewing in greater detail the budget. You want to address
We'll get to that
Okay.
the next time.
All right.
So this is just a motion for self-examination. Somebody wants to do that.
All right, I see the mayor's looking at me, so I'll do it. Mayor, I'll move 12A, number 134, authorizing self-examination of the 2025 municipal budget.
Second.
Any other discussion needed?
Just roll call?
Roll call?
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes.
Okay, the next item is the formal introduction of the 2025 municipal budget. I've provided you all with an up-to-date budget workbook. This is the document that is submitted to the state of New Jersey. And what Mayor, the majority of council has expressed to me the desire to have a line-by-line review of the budget. In years past, the review has always been between council members and the municipal manager with participation of the CFO over that period of 30 days in between recommendation and introduction. However, if you are all inclined to do it, what we can do in terms of reading a line by line of the budget, we can do that on April 1st on the scheduled adoption date. The law provides that we could waive the full reading of the budget and just read it by title and pass it, which we have always done, at least the 25 years that I've been connected with the town. However, if the majority of council is so inclined and would like the full reading of the budget, which will take 3 to 4 hours, you will have that ability to do that on that date. We'll be prepared for both. We'll pass the resolution, do the publication that will allow us to adopt the budget by reading only, but we'll be ready should you all want to read line by line the budget into the record on that date.
Thank you for that accommodation. I know that there are 2 members of council who are not here this evening that were interested specifically in that reading as well. So thank you for the accommodation for us to be able to do that. At this time, is there anything else?
So there's just a motion to introduce,
Yep.
a second, and then
That's all.
a vote.
Okay, that's it.
Does somebody want to do a motion?
I was just waiting for my cue. I
Oh,
don't want to
You're on.
overstep.
Yeah,
You're on.
Mayor, I'll move 12B, number 135, introduction of the 2025 municipal budget.
Second.
Madam Clerk?
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes.
And Mayor, may I just say for the record, for everybody that's here, it's really important that our municipality comply with the state law and state deadlines. And that's why tonight's introduction was extremely important for us to do, so we could, after introduction, there must be 28 days before adoption. So in order for us to make that deadline, tonight was critical for us to do. It's not ideal to not have 2 council members here, but the law requires a majority of council to allow for introduction. So that's kind of why we have to do it tonight, to give us that time frame. Should something happen, we need to have some days where if a special meeting is necessary, we have it. So just for the benefit of everybody in the public.
Yes. And also, for the benefit of the public, when we go line by line, if there is something that we see that we need to make a change or an adjustment, we are still within our time frame to do that, correct?
No, that's not
No?
correct.
Oh,
So, very important. April 1st is the date that we must adopt. So in order to, we can't, if you find something on April 1st that's not acceptable, we'll be out of time and we will miss the deadline set by the state of New Jersey. So it's really important that, from March 4th through to today, highlighting to the manager and our chief financial officer line items that you may want further clarification on, that should happen, that should have happened. And moving forward, if there's something that is identified, it is critical for us to know this in advance, because having to miss the budget deadline with the state of New Jersey is a situation that's never happened in Lawrence Township. And honestly, I don't know what the ramifications are should we not. I know there's a process upon which we have to make an appeal to the state of New Jersey to give reasons why. And I'm fairly certain a reason why is that would be rejected is we just didn't get the information in time.
Sure,
So
yeah.
we need to have that exchange happen sooner rather than later.
And just, it is the responsibility of council. This is the most important, one of the most important things that we do as a body is to pass the budget. So if there are any concerns, they will definitely come to you prior to the time when, of April 1st. And we can, if we need to review again, we can do that. So we will also, thank you for, we will take the time to do the line by line, which was,
In our, like we did last year, you and I, we went line by line in the manager's conference room, as well as several other council members. It's in our form of government, council manager, it's the manager's requirement under the act to prepare and recommend the budget to council. Then it becomes your budget to review and adopt, amend, or reject. Okay, so it's kind of in your hands now, and it's good for us to exchange information. So when the time comes, your confidence in voting yes, you've got all your answers.
Okay.
Mayor, I had a question of the manager. I must have missed that email, so I was wondering, when did the majority of council ask you about reading the budget line by line?
Oh, that's something that's always kind of been discussed.
Okay.
And honestly, if we want to do that next year, ideally, that line by line should have happened over the last 2 meetings with our department heads there. So next year, should council really want that to happen, we could do a line by line over 2 meetings with our department heads there to answer any questions. So when we get to that point of introduction, we're ready to go. We're a little bit behind the gun right now, but there's a path forward where we can go and comply with the law, so.
Okay. All right, perfect. All right. Have you passed it? Is there a
Did we
motion?
take a vote, Tanya?
Is there a motion on the
Oh,
floor?
on the budget?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
I thought so.
Very
I
good.
kept talking.
Okay. Well, this brings us now to the attorney's report.
I have nothing for the public session. Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
Just a couple of things. I have the school board election is coming up on March 11th. We will be picking up the bags this week. The deadline for to apply for the vote by mail was today. They have already started mailing out the sample ballots. And the deadline to apply in person, you can go up until 3:00, county clerk's office on the 10th. Nominating petition, filing deadline for the primary election is March 24th. And we will be locking the doors at 4:00, by 4:00. And keep in mind that there are additional signatures that are needed. So when we give out the petitions, we do give out the numbers. I think if they added another 25, it used to be 50, it's now 75. Let me see, legal notices. They did extend the legal notices. You know, the legal notices they had it only to March 1st, but it's been extended now. We still have to publish in the papers. They're working on doing something about, especially since now the Trenton Times is not, went out of circulation. Boards and committees listing. I will give that to you next meeting. It's all pretty much updated. I'm going to distribute sometime this week to the departments, but I'll give it to you in your next books. And I also have a little bit of an announcement. I wanted to say throughout my career, I'm going to be retiring as May 1st. May 1st, 2025. I've always, this is kind of hard, bittersweet, but it's always been throughout my military, my career here. I've always, my core values is all about respect. And I always try to reciprocate that and treat people the way they should be treated. After the last meeting, that does not align with my values. Therefore, I will be retiring as of May 1st. But I have had the pleasure of a great career here and serving the residents and my coworkers. That's it. So that's what I have to say.
You'll be considered. Thank you for your 30 years
Thank you.
of truly being of service and doing a spectacular job.
Yes, thank you. So,
Miss you, Tanya.
I know, I'm gonna miss you too. But I'm looking forward to the next chapter in my life and spending time with my grandson.
Mayor,
Mhm.
Tanya, you're still gonna be here for meetings to come, correct? Because
Maybe.
until May.
I would be here for business to come. I would never leave Peter.
I just want to say, I want to just have a thoughtful comment for you, and I'm just taking this all in because you are a very experienced, thoughtful professional, and whenever someone like that retires from municipal government, we are less of a municipal government because of that. and your experience, your institutional knowledge, your guidance on a very difficult job. I have enjoyed working with you, and I'm sad to hear this news. But I'm also happy that you have the ability to do this at this time so you can enjoy meaningful things in your life. 'Cause
Yes.
this stuff at times is
Yes.
nothing,
Yes,
right? It's
Yes.
about family, friends,
that's right.
and moving forward with happiness and joy in your heart.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
thank you for all your years of service to Lawrence.
I thank everybody. I love Lawrence Township. I love the residents. I love the people I work with. This was a hard decision, but it was the right decision at the right time.
I think it's appropriate, we can give her a round of applause. It is very recent news, but we will definitely celebrate and cherish it. Okay. Unfinished business? None? New business? Public participation, 3 minutes. Seeing none? Resolutions.
Mayor, if there's no objection, I'll move 18A1 through H10 in block.
You can't, hold on one second.
Yeah.
Because we only have 3
Yeah.
council members here,
Uh-oh.
there are 2 resolutions that require a 2/3 vote of council.
All right.
And that is Resolution H1,
Oh,
amending the temporary budget, which is not ideal for us.
Yeah.
Which will stall any effort to hire a deputy municipal clerk, because that's what's funding that position. And H2 is authorizing the transfer of 2024 current fund appropriations. So if there could be a motion to
I will remotion.
table those 2.
All right, so, give me one sec. All right, first, I will make a motion to table H1 and H2 until our next meeting, as long as we have at least 4 next meeting. So that's my motion.
Okay.
Second.
Madam Clerk, if you call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes,
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Mayor Brown.
Yes.
and then I will move 18A1 through G2 and 18H3 through H10 in a block.
Second.
Madam Clerk, if you call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Mayor Brown.
Yes. The council initiatives or liaison report?
Mayor, I'll just say that the Environmental and Green Advisory Committee is going to have a special event Saturday, March 15th at 230 Glen Avenue. They're going to do stream bank restoration at the mini park there. They're going to show how you can sort of use rebar, make a hole, put a stake, a live branch in there, and it will grow and sort of help slow down erosion of the stream banks. So it's something that'll help our friends at Colonial Lake in terms of the silt that goes in there. And members of Public Works will be there as well to sort of learn from a professor from Rutgers. So it's going to be an informative event.
Do you have anything? Okay. I have, since last we met, I've done, there have been 2 ribbon cuttings for 2 new businesses that have come into Lawrence Township. One being Taylor Ray in the Lawrenceville Main Street area, and the second one being the Apple Montessori School. There was a ribbon cutting, that's a preschool, again, which emphasizes the importance of education and young people is what I do. Also, the community center task force met for their second meeting. I want to thank Public Works for letting us into the building. The committee had an opportunity to tour the building and also was able to elect a chair and a secretary for that committee moving forward. Also, to report, I attended a meeting with the Department of Environmental Protection with the commissioner, specifically to discuss Trenton Waterworks and the future there. The commissioner mentioned that if we are interested in him coming to meet with us, with council, he would be more than happy to have a meeting or conversation with us to bring us more up to speed with what is going on there and what the plans are. The planning board met, we updated and made appointments, appointing Mr. Kevin Nowinski onto his position, and also Olympia, Councilwoman Perry was sworn in also to that committee. Moving forward, they are having an additional Zoom call to go over the interviews for the master plan. And let's see, Councilwoman Perry is continuing with the reviews of the RFPs for the fire study, and she should have something to council in April to share. And let's see, I just want to shout out, I had an opportunity to attend the New Jersey Conference of Mayors Winter Summit this past week, and two of the discussion items dealt with the ARRIVE program. And I know Chief Redden mentioned some of the work that we're doing here in Lawrence Township. And we are really on board and doing, tremendous work. Having spoken with the other mayors throughout the state, we are really in the right direction. Along with, I know that we have a program that we work with autistic or with autism or with individuals with communication difficulties. So I just wanted to give a shout out to our police force, because all of you are really doing tremendous work. And to hear what other municipalities are doing, I was just very proud and impressed with the work that's being done here. So thank you for that. In addition, there's a lot of talk around AI and how that's going to affect municipalities going in the future with regards to administrative and communication with residents. Okay, I think those are all my things, and just want to thank the manager for accommodating the line-by-line budgeting. Okay.
Mayor, can I ask a quick question? I mean, I wish I could ask Councilwoman Perry about the study, because I know she got the proposals back in January, so I was curious what sort of the delay is. So I hope that she'll show up, she'll be here at the next meeting, only because, there's business to be done that we couldn't do 2 resolutions because we are missing 2 people. So I hope that you can, as mayor, speak with them about the importance of their attendance. And then I didn't hear anything about the mayor's task force on the community center. Do you have any updates?
Yeah, okay.
Well, do you have when the public will be involved? I think you said something about when there's going to be some sort of open house or something. So
yes. So as I mentioned, the community center, the task force has elected a chair, so they're taking on more of the communication role. And one of the first items that they're looking to do is to have a community conversation with members of the community, and also to come before council and share information as to their progress of what is being done and where they are in the process. So absolutely. One of the questions actually that I was asked, or have been asked by the public, and I didn't get to go over this with the manager, there was a question about the usage of the building as it is now. What is the reason why the building cannot be used in its current condition?
It doesn't comply with safety codes.
Okay. All right, thank you. So did I answer that? Yeah. And yeah, so the process, as I understand it, with Councilwoman Julie Perry, is they have received the RPs. They've been distributed to the subcommittee for the subcommittee to review what is in the RPs. Then there are larger committees reviewing, and then council will also be reviewing. But if there is some additional information, you are well within your rights to have that
I
information.
would love a copy.
Okay,
That would be.
there are several copies, but yeah.
I have asked about, and no one seems to know where they are in the building, so if you could provide that, that would be wonderful.
Sure, if that is, obviously something that you are within your rights to read about, yeah.
Thank
If
you.
you will be
'Cause
voting on it. Mhm.
I think that would just help speed up the process. I mean, I remember when this was an issue,
Mhm.
and it seems like it is quieted down, so I'd love to sort of help keep it moving.
That's not an unrealistic expectation, okay. Mhm. Okay,
We have motion to adjourn.
okay. Do we have any written communication?
Yeah, we done at this.
Okay. Well then, as Mr. Sypak said, we are not in need of a executive session this evening. Okay.
I'm not aware of, no.
Record time. Wow. Okay, with that being said, if we can have a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Always in order.
Thank you to members of the public for coming tonight. We appreciate